Alright guys, hello and welcome back. Morphe again, casting another game from the VPL Silver through Platinum Tournament. Let's bring up the names tab here. We're going to have Link spawning as the green Terran in the top position. And over here in the 9 o'clock position we have VPL Valryn spawning as the blue Protoss pieces. This is the finals of the losers bracket, and I actually knocked both these players into the losers bracket myself. Valryn, a very good Protoss player. We actually had a couple of pretty decent games in our best of 3. I managed to do a 4 warp gate against him in the first game, and in the second game he went 3 gate robo and defended really well, and it ended up turning into a long macro game where I had a couple of desperation DTs that managed to do some massive worker damage to him, which gave me the economic lead I needed to win. So a very close series between the two of us. And Link, actually a pretty high-ranked Platinum player, something like 157 wins. Tosses that barracks down. So very good player here. Seems to prefer the bio composition in PvT. You know, with starport support for Vikings and medevacs. Also, definitely capable of doing a 1-1-1. Pretty well executed, and the 1-1-1 a very good build against Protoss. So, I'm excited to see how these games turn out. Everything looking really standard so far. Just the one Rax going down. This is my second attempt at a cold-casted game. Again, this one and the next VPL tournament game will be cold-casted, and then the entire Grand Finals series will be games that I've seen before, so we can kind of see which one works out better. Psy-Core going down. Is he going to take that second geyser? Terran just getting his orbital command and a couple Marines, so nothing really happening. But yeah, I do want to know if you guys can tell me which type of games you prefer, the cold-casted ones, the warm-casted ones. If there's no real preference, I'll probably just warm-cast all of them, that way I don't miss things like drops as easily. And the tech lab down, so maybe a little early Marauder pressure. Is he going to get the concussive shells? Just building Marines, so maybe going for an early stem timing. Yep, early stem. Robo heading down over in the Protoss side. And that second geyser is being morphed in. No units made by the Protoss. Not sure that's actually the safest. He does have the probe up there so we can see if anything's going down. And getting a bunker right at the front. That's actually something I'd more expect to see if I was doing a 1-1-1. A bunker at the front is more common, but since we have a reactor here, or a tech lab instead of a reactor here on the barracks, and no factory going down, we know it's not a 1-1-1. And just a standard 3-gate robo coming out from Valryn. Has he had an observer made yet? I'm going to be leaving the production tab up more now, just because I'm not a professional caster. I am going to miss things, and with the production tab up, it'll help me see the things that I'm missing, and it'll at least help you see them if I don't mention them. And Baron getting his first Zealot a little late. I actually would prefer, those 5 Marines, if they decided to poke in, could have done some pretty good damage, actually, with no Zealot out. But Warp Gate's finishing, and so Valryn should be perfectly safe from anything. Looks like he's going for an early 1-base Colossus play. That Robo facility almost done. And again, since he's going, I expect a starport. Cancel. A tech lab. I think he was doing a reactor and then decided to cancel for the tech lab, so I'm not sure what's going to come out of that. But I was anticipating bio play, and so a starport for medevacs and then eventually Vikings. We'll see, though. And cancels the tech lab and then decides to switch back to the reactor. So Link being a little indecisive there. Cat's walking in front of the screen. Yes, like every nerd, I do own a cat. And he loves to sit on my keyboard. Kind of like the missile turret there, just a little extra safety in case any DTs come in. First Colossus about halfway done, and the range upgrade. I'll be honest, I don't like going Colossus off of one base. If you check the Units tab, 13 Marines, 4 Zealots, 2 Stalkers, it's just too few gateway units. When you're on just one base, I would have preferred something like a 3-gate pressure opening, or even a 2-gate robo to protect an expansion. Getting Colossus off one base just takes all your gas, and you're not going to have anything else. No upgrades, not a lot of Stalkers. But I do like that Valryn's being very active with these units, heading them out. Going to go poke in and see what the Terran's doing. Going back to the production tab, looks like Extended Thermal Lance is almost finished. Terran getting the combat shield and the +1 attack upgrade, and a lot of Marines. Which, actually, Marines not so good against the Colossus, but pretty good against the Zealots, and pretty good against a force that's just very tiny. So, let's see if this manages to do some damage, though. It still could. Ooh, big drop leaving. He's going to intercept that drop? Oh, that could be huge. Instead, he's just going to bop right over, though, into the natural. Is he going to warp in anything? Oof. That is a double Marine drop, and his forces are sadly out of position. Pushing in at the front now. But it's going to take more than 2 Stalkers to clean up that force in the main. Proxy pylon going down. These are going to do some pretty massive probe damage. They might even be able to take out that Nexus. Second Colossus not going to get out in time. Looks like CV's coming down there. Alright, and finally doing a couple of rounds of warp-ins in the main, so that's going to finally clean up pretty well. But Marines supported by those medevacs, so strong. Especially with all their upgrades. +1 attack, combat shield, stim. Very tough situation here for Valryn. We can see that Link did clean up a little bit in the main from that last Colossus. And finally gets the Colossus home and cleans up those Marines pretty well. Did he, didn't pick any of them up. But 2 Vikings coming in. This Colossus unsupported. Needs to get a couple Stalkers there. Not sure where those Vikings are going to go. Just going to sit around there, it looks like.